How we doing, everyone? I want to speak to you about something. Got a minute? Something that I came across, something that touched me. Something that I experienced recently. But first, before I get into that, I want to touch on the word experience. See, as some of you know, I read a lot, and recently one of the books that I read was called No Limits by John C. Maxwell. And anyways, now this isn't word for word, it's just a gist of what Mr. Maxwell explains. See, so we live life through experiences, good or bad, and I'm sure you've all heard the term learned experience. Well, Mr. Maxwell broke it down even more. And so, for example, if you were to make a mistake, did you learn from that experience? So maybe not, right? And that's because the key to learning from an experience is to first evaluate. You can make a mistake and repeat the same mistake over and over, repeating the same cycle, because you learn nothing from the experience. So until you evaluate the experience, there is nothing learned. So nothing can be changed, right? It is the evaluated experience that makes the difference, because the value is within the evaluation. So let me repeat that one more time. It is the evaluated experience that makes the difference, because the value is within the evaluation. So now, I think that concept is just beautiful and brilliant at the same time. I bring it up for a couple of reasons. And first, I'm not going to preach to you about something I haven't done yet myself. So when I become a millionaire, let's just say that. When I become a millionaire, I'll shed some light on that subject when the time comes. Anyways, well, secondly, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm going to share something with you that many of us can understand, and I do it because I've been there, and I still continue to be there for those without even realizing it. And soon that'll make sense what I'm saying. Now I'm going to break this up in some small sections, so just listen and trust me. It'll all come together and make sense. Mentors. They're all around us. They're not just a face-to-face physical encounter with another individual. See, mentorships or mentors are not just found in people in person or over the phone, but they're found everywhere. They are found in the influential words inside books, the informational articles in magazines, in today's and yesterday's, or by today's and yesterday's profound authors. They're found in webinars and seminars, all the ones that we attend and that we watch, created by the great minds that help motivate us to be better human beings. It just may be your father, it might be your mother, it might be your big brother, your big sister. Maybe, it just might be your successful and knowledgeable next door neighbor who's willing to share their evaluated experience with you. So, not too long ago, something happened to me. I was getting ready and preparing for an event that evening. Now, without mentioning any names, a young lady that was going to attend the event, she wasn't able to make it. She had to cancel due to a family emergency. So I told her I was sorry, of course, to hear that about her family member, and that her family member was in my prayers, and to let me know if there's anything I can do to help. So, done, right? Nah, not at all. What she said next completely blew me away by surprise. She said, "Thank you. You are honestly the greatest role model in my life at this moment. I just felt like you should know and to continue being you. I think about that for a second. I'm like, wow. I was speechless, didn't even know what to say. Just wow. I was absolutely honored and touched by this young lady's words, you know. So let's go on. Let's move forward and let's start connecting the dots. Have you ever heard of the term correlation versus causation? So I guess according to philosophers as early as German philosopher Immanuel Kant to the more recent generations of Woodard, many things are correlating all the time as opposed to very things are causative. Now, in some philosophies of science, they say that coincidence is confused with correlativity, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And correlativity is confused with causality. However, and let's put this in layman terms. Let's say a husband and wife have an argument in front of their children, and subconsciously they're not paying attention to their presence. The argument stirs up overwhelming emotions, and say those emotions created sadness. That's the causation, because words can cause emotion. Now, say the wife's sadness from the exchange of words in the argument transformed into anger, and it made the wife so upset that, let's say, she picked up a flower vase and she threw it at the husband's head. Now, look, I don't condone that kind of, excuse me, I don't condone that kind of, character in a person, or those kinds of actions. But I'm just making an example. So say that happened, okay? And now the question is, now would that be considered causation or correlation? Though it would make sense, it isn't a connection with the emotional engagement between the husband and wife. It would be considered in terms of correlation. Why? Because it was her choice. The words have power to cause emotion, because we cannot always have control over how we feel, but we do have the power to control our actions. See, it's a big difference. People don't understand that. So let's wrap this up. And so with that said, even if subconsciously we're not paying attention to our surroundings, somebody else always is. In this case, the kids is the somebody. They are the somebody who witnessed their parents argument, and just as this young lady witnessed the character, or my character, through social media. Somebody is always watching what we're doing, folks. It's what we do. What we do may impact their lives in the worst or the best ways. They see the good and they see the bad. I mean, we can't be perfect, but we can carry ourselves with a certain level of integrity and self-discipline. Our kids watch us every day, and so does the rest of the world. I mean, when we least expect it. I mean, think about it. I mean, we are mentoring others when we least know it. And our influence upon others is based upon our actions through our evaluated experience. Doing the right thing is a simplicity at its best. But accountability and consistency, that's even a bigger test. Listen, folks, never give up on yourself, because you may never know how much somebody else might need you. Thanks for listening, everyone. I appreciate it. You have a great evening.